Hello, Speed Gaming. Welcome to this Week 5 ALTTPR League race between Team Hot Dish and Swedish Rubbers of the KegInTheCloset division. We are hot underway in Cross Keys Week, and that's what we've got going for you this afternoon. KegInTheCloset is representing Team Hot Dish. Amarith is representing Swedish Rubbers. I am Mindabeen, joined by Antisum. Antisum, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I am excited for Cross Keys. This is my favorite mode. I love seeing the divergence that's possible in this kind of thing. I love seeing some of the sillier things that this mode makes you do. And I just really enjoy solving the puzzle of the seed, because sometimes things can get a little bit convoluted.
Yeah, the only thing I hate about Cross Keys is when you get a late Moon Pearl. I just don't like bunny exploration. That's just me, though.
Late Moon Pearl is a thing that can happen here. We could, in fact, have a theoretical seed where we don't even need the Moon Pearl.
That's true.
Highly unlikely, but it's entirely possible.
While possible, it's gonna be like 1 in like 10 million probably.
Absolutely. So, in case you're not familiar, Cross Keys, we shuffle all the entrances, we shuffle all the keys and the dungeon items, and send our runners out into the world. Cross Keys cross world as opposed to regular entrance shuffle. Characters can go between the light and dark world or vice versa.
And we're off on Amarith's side here.
Starting with a small key to Thieves Town.
And going for a fake flipper right up. Or get the flippers in the sanctuary. That's nice.
This fake flipper route is a pretty common play in Cross Keys. You do this fake flipper to the witch's house, see what's there, check with a drop down at the fairy hideout and Houlihan. But it looks like Sanctuary is vanilla today.
Yeah, that's pretty rare.
And I didn't see what Emra saw when she peeked in the fairy hole. Drop downs are all randomized, with the exception of Skullwoods, because that one's a little bit weird.
Alright, and we will see on Keg's side what is in this hut here. And we have Hyrule Castle.
Okay, that's a nice thing to find. Obviously, it's completable with bombs to get the items in the chests. It's also an additional 2 connectors. This may be our Dark World access.
Yeah, and it's right next to Sanctuary, which is vanilla, so we have easy way to get to it as well.
And we have a vanilla lumberjack with a blue mail on it. I don't think our runners are going to be going out of their way for that.
No, this isn't Randomizer week anymore.
A little bit unusual to have 2 vanilla drop-downs.
And we have a chest game up there.
That's a vanilla chest game? What is going on here? Like, we obviously seen that Hyrule Castle. We know that there's some entrance shuffle going on, but this seems a little bit strange.
Yeah, this quite vanilla for one. Do we have a third drop down? No, here we go. First drop down that's not vanilla.
That would be the Magic Bat. Alright, going into KegInTheCloset, lots of entrances here. No bombs, though, which is a little bit unfortunate. You always like to be able to go in and hopefully you come across a bomb shop to buy things. But we do find another connector in Spectacle Rock.
And just 50 rupees up here, but we'll get to see where it goes to.
Yep, Keg is choosing to follow this connector. This is a one-way connector, though, so it will take him likely away from Kakariko. Could end up in the Dark World, could end up stuck behind a Bonk Rock or a Glove Rock.
And no bombs, so is locked out. That's the White World type cave.
Yep, luckily didn't take us too far away. Looks like Keg is going to go and check the dam entrance, and we'll see if Amarith decides to follow that connector as well.
And we have the Bonk Rocks with a big key to Turtle Rock. That's a good early find.
Always hard to tell if we'll need that or not. In Turtle Rock, depending on what entrances we find and what keys we find, the only thing the big key hard locks is Trinex and the big chest.
Ooh, Air Game. They could take some time to farm up some money in there.
That would be a really good plan. Keg not choosing to do that, instead is going to explore what is at Agina and maybe take a peek at Desert Lead. Taking a refill, probably to go back out to Desert Ledge. A lot of Cross Keys runners will put off the desert area because of the cave underneath a rock that you need gloves to lift from. But you know what? That's the wonderful thing about Cross Keys is you never know what's going to find. There really are no bad routes. At least in the early game.
Yeah, yep. And just a hard on that Desert Ledge, so we won't be seeing that again. And we have Bumper Ledge inside of one of the chief's huts.
And Desert Back.
And we have Uncle's area here in the well, which is nice. Small key to Misery Mire, okay. And then what the second one is? And the secret passageway has another small key, and this one to ice. So 2 small keys that aren't really all that useful right now.
No, even if we found Ice Palace or Thieves Town, really couldn't do much about it, or Misery Mire in that fact. That Desert Back is interesting because it's the only part of desert that is not connected to the rest of desert. But we find Sahashula's hut here in Thieves Town as well.
And Thieves Town is our green pendant.
Alright. Looks like Amarith got the item from the bottle vendor. I did not see what that was. Did you happen to catch that?
Just a piece of heart. Oh. And we have Paradox Cave.
Wrong end of Paradox Cave. We wish we had a mirror to be able to get those 7 items.
And we have top of Hyrule Castle, Agate Tower.
Now, Agate Tower is interesting because it is actually in logic with just that first chest is in logic with just bombs. And I called the seed the other day where that was our moon pearl in there.
That's pretty evil right there.
Alright, the one entrance that absolutely can never be shoveled, back of the tavern, gives us 20 rupees.
And our sick kid is... I'm actually not sure where that is. Yeah.
That is the other side of the Elder's house.
Oh, you're right.
We've got the Smiths just right next door, so once we get the Titan's Mitts and Mirror, that will be a very easy turn-in. Oh, yeah, not a very useful connector. Didn't go
No.
that far away. Both of
It
these
was just an
runners,
underground tunnel is all it was.
both of these runners, very brave in following connectors this early.
And Amarith finds another male. This time it's in the Lost Woods. Drop down.
Yes, so considering our other male is on Aga Tower, runners are probably hoping to find the hammer or, access to that with the mirror. We have some sort of dark entrance at the... There are 5 dark entrances in the game. One of them will be guaranteed to be on West Light Death Mountain. That'll be the Old Man Rescue. The other 4 are other kinds of caves.
We did find Pyramid Fairy, but as always, had nothing.
And neither of our runners having any luck finding or buying bombs, so we are leaving the bombable hut for... Oh, there we go!
Well,
finally,
there's the bombs.
Finally have a store. Hopefully Amarith will go back up to the village and check what is in that bombable hut there.
And we have the other side of race game over here. So let's see where this connector leads us. To Death Mountain.
That's a very nice connector. That takes us to the Old Man house. And there's all these connectors that we can check up here. That's really nice access. But with 3 hearts and no weapon and no mail, little...
Well, there's our second shop in a row.
And there is the death. Not unsurprisingly, dead rocks and falling cabbages. Not a fun combination.
So Keg will need to find a bit of money, because otherwise they're not going to have enough money to, when they find that bomb shop, to buy bombs.
No, indeed. And Amarith is going to go and check our tree pull, see what the Uncle Dropdown is, and what Hyrule Castle is.
So Hyrule Castle is nothing of importance.
No, and we're still looking for the Kakariko Well, and it would be really great if it was here at the Uncle. No, that's...
Well, there's Ganon.
So I'm thinking, based on the drop-downs that we've seen, that means that the Kakariko Well is behind Aga 2. That's 5 items locked behind a tower climb.
Yeah, that's not a very nice proposition at all.
No, indeed. And it looks like that must mean that this useless fairy is vanilla. Oh no, this is the well.
Okay.
So I wonder why Keg didn't do this when they did the earlier rat. So that's good. So it's the useless fairy behind.
And gloves here in the well. Small key to pod, first of many, 50 rupees, and a big key to Desert Palace.
Oh, big key to Desert Palace is really interesting. Since we do know where the back of Desert is, as soon as we find a fire source and some combination of weapons to kill Landmole, we'll be able to get the dungeon prize.
And we have the dam. That's a nice early find. Something this control you for a pretty long time.
Absolutely, especially when you need to clear Swamp Palace. You know where Swamp Palace is. You have everything to get through it, but you just cannot find that dam. The dam will give us another item down on South Shore, so Amarith may walk down there and check to see what that item is, as well as checking the Ice Rod Cave location.
is gonna head up to the Zora area first with flippers and a glove.
That makes sense. We'll be able to scope out what's on Zora's Ledge, see what's in the Waterfall Ferry. Hoping that maybe one of those is 300 rupees so that she can also buy the Zora item.
And Keg thinking about maybe going farther into Death Mountain with those 3 hearts.
Yeah.
It's gonna attempt it for sure. And we have Spiral Cave. That's not so nice connector, because if you fall down, you can't get back up.
No, indeed, one of those one-way connectors.
And we have Thieves Town up here in Death Mountain.
Okay, this is a pretty nice dungeon to find early.
And mitts on the Zora ledge. So this Zora play is paying off. And while mitts are not as important in cross keys, they're still nice to have.
They are really nice to have. If we find our way over to East Death Mountain with those mitts, we could go into that Dark World portal and check those entrances as a bunny.
That's true. There's the big key to Ganon's Tower, which is something.
Yeah, we probably won't need that this seed now that we know that it's just the fairy drop down behind Agatu, but there are 4 items at the top of Ganon's Tower, as well as what is ever in the big chest. Alright, Amarith is deciding to follow this connector. I think she was kind of debating that maybe taking the portal, but Spiral Cave with no weapon and only 3 hearts is really dangerous.
And was that a vanilla Thieves Town big key in Thieves Town?
That was a vanilla Thieves Town big key. So
we've already had some vanilla drop downs, now we have some vanilla big keys.
Alright, Amarith going to show us what's at the 3 chests in the back of Sanctuary, and Keg is going to go on to the back and see how far they can get.
And we have the boots. That's nice to get around with.
Oh, that is really fantastic.
Yeah, plus we can, even if we come out outside some bonk rocks, we won't get stuck anymore.
Absolutely. So it looks like Amarith is going to go and check the bonk rocks and King's Tomb right here. Makes sense with both mitts and the boots. Really nice, easy.
Very nicely done by Keg. Got through the Hellway with just taking 1 heart of damage without a weapon, yeah.
Alright, and we find the Fairy Ascension Cave at King's Tomb, which takes us to Dark Death Mountain. So there's 1 more entrance that we can check. This would be very nice if we had the mirror.
And the lamp is in the back of Thieves Town.
Okay, Darkroom navigation will not be required this seed.
And that's also our first fire source.
Absolutely. So again, we're just looking for that weapon to kill Lanmo. And it looked like we had a crystal turtle rock, and this Thieves Town is a pendant.
Ooh. Yep. That low heart Thieves Town is never any fun.
No, indeed. And Amarith found another one of the dark caves at Spike Cave. So we'll see what's here in Bog. Oh, nice.
Here's at a Paradox Cave.
This is really great.
Yeah, it'll be a quick 7 items.
Okay, there's our Zora money. I don't know if Amarith will feel like making the trek back to Zora. But it is 7 items and 1 more entrance to check if you feel comfortable with the bomb.
Bombos, Quake.
If we get all 3 medallions here.
No, just 2 of them, but that's still pretty nice.
Alright, KegInTheCloset found the old man rescue. That will open up the save and quit point for the old man, which can be anywhere on the map.
This is one of my favorite cutscenes in just the game for cross keys, when the old man is just walking on air.
Yep, decides to just clip into his mountain home. Amarith gets the bomb jump, and we'll see what's at this other entrance.
Welcome to desert. Except you can't go anywhere.
Okay, that's a nice entrance to mark off your map, though.
And Keg takes a death.
Oh.
Those cabbages.
Alright, we'll see if Keg decides to see where the old man is at.
Dark Death Mountain. That's interesting.
That's certainly a place, so he can explore a couple caves here as a bunny. He can also walk over to West Death Mountain and see those other caves that Amarith had to leave behind.
And we have the bomb shop. The big bomb shop, that's nice. If we talk, we'll find out the 5 and 6 crystals. Or not.
Doing that. I think you can talk to him. Yeah, you can interact with NPCs as a bunny, which is something that can trip up some runners.
Yeah. And we have Meyer sitting over here. That's a find. Yep. Can't do anything.
Nope.
Good thing to write.
And yeah, Amarith just going back, double checking which connectors she's seen, which ones she hasn't. We've seen all the Paradox connectors since they're all main light world. I don't think we'll be going back to that. But now with Bomb, she'll be able to get the 3 items from the back of Sahasrah's closet.
Cape, a heart, and 3 bombs.
Definitely will take a heart this early in the seed, as well as a nice invulnerability item. And that bombable hut didn't give us anything in particular.
And Keg gets their gloves here in the well, along with some.
Alright, good knowledge from Amarith, knowing to use that cape to go right through the bumper cave. Going that way, you can also use the hook shot, but that gives us a really nice connector. This is one of those orphaned locations that you can only obtain via connectors. She'll also want to go back there with the mirror to get the light world equivalent.
And we have the chicken hut. That's a nice place to get back to.
Yep, that'll be an item once we're not a bunny and can throw bombs around. Alright, Keg gonna go and get the value from the back of Hyrule Castle here. Right now, Amarith is in bunny form, having taken a Dark World connector. We do not have the Moon Pearl, and we cannot use bombs. The only thing a bunny can do is drop down ledges, mirror, and talk to NPCs. But bunny walking is, an essential part of Cross Keys. Taking an unfortunate death, the Dark World is very dangerous, and bunny walking can be 100%.
Yeah, it's a double-edged sword. You get the knowledge, or you die.
Keg is trying to decide if he wanted to check the entrances or get the items, choosing wisely for items first.
And we have Eastern Palace over here at those Bond Rocks, next to Link's house.
We would be able to get 4 chests in here if, all in logic, if Amarith had found that Thieves' Town and went in to get the lamp from the attic. Sometimes do you agree with the play of dipping Eastern at this point, or do you think you would keep checking entrances and connectors?
I don't mind this play of checking Eastern. It is a guaranteed 3 to 4 items if you're comfortable with the Dark Room without a sword. But I think I'd go in.
We are at the point where we do not know if this is a crystal or a pendant. And said we only get the 4 out of the 6 items. One locked behind just the big key, and the other one locked behind both the big key and the bow. Often runners will put this off until they have at least one of the 2.
That's true. But I'm also not a very good runner, so...
Alright, gonna do a weaponless dark room here in Eastern. 5 hearts, possible, but since we don't have a weapon to kill all the enemies in the other room, we'll have to retain health in order to do the damage boost to get through the bunny beam, or the quad fairies.
And also don't really have anything to echolocate yourself with, like a boomerang or anything really.
Some raiders are really good, and they can use the dust from the boots to take it out. And no, Amarith down to 1 heart, needs to watch out here.
There are a couple hearts in that room that Amarith could use to heal up a little bit.
Yeah, we'll have to...
Or use the cape.
Of course. Alright, we're gonna see that dark cave from KegInTheCloset side. I believe this is the back side of the old man cave, so not going to get any new information here. This will just take us back up to Death Mountain.
And we have found TR.
One of the 4 TR chests entrances. Won't get us very far without Samaria or the hookshot, though.
And we've also found Ganon's Tower. Can't really get much at the moment here, but can check a few locations.
Nothing wrong with little Ganon's Tower.
There's a small key to TR, and 50 rupees.
We'll be able to also get the item on the torch.
And could potentially steal a key and go do... Nope, still need Candace Mario for Tower Room. Never mind.
Yeah, unfortunately. This is KegInTheCloset's first trip to Link's house, grabbing that small key.
I didn't even realize they hadn't saved and quit there. It just happens so often.
All right, Amarith, since they found the dam earlier, is going to go and check that flooded item while KegInTheCloset discovers Eastern and marks that down on their notes.
It's also going to go in. Maybe. Okay.
Now, we found a small key to Castle Tower in the flooded item. With the lamp, that does mean that both items in Aga Tower are in logic with just bombs.
Bomb Aga Tower. That does not sound fun. And we have the witch's hut over here in the desert.
Okay, that's pretty easy to go and follow. Once we turn in the mushroom, you have to turn it into the witch herself and then take your trip down there to get the mushroom. And we have a question to check about checking pedestal. No, we do not have the book. There is no way for these runners to be checking pedestal. Still have plenty of entrances left to check out. We've got all of the Ice Rod Cave area, we've got Hobo, we've got the Waterfall of Wishing, and we can also follow those connectors in Hyrule Castle.
Yeah, it looks like Amarith is going to head down to that South Shore area now.
This is the most dense location at the moment. Right now we're really lacking in any kind of information or completability. This seems, giving us some good things, but nothing really fantastic.
It's also been very low on hearts so far.
Yes, indeed, and we have seen both of our males, and they are currently locked. One of them is locked behind Aga 1, and the other one is locked behind the hammer.
And we have Spike Cave over here in the Thieves Rock next to Ice Rock.
Yeah, another thing that is locked by the hammer, but there is laser.
And with advanced logic, this is in logic with boots.
Absolutely. Although Amarith will have a little bit of an easier time with the cape. We'll see how skilled she is at the boot skill. Pretty good, I'd say.
Ooh, but just gets caught.
I think that was a tactical death warp. Gonna go and refill on health.
Ooh.
That one, unfortunately, was not.
Just gonna go ahead and pull out that cape and check a few first now.
Out of magic. Now, she does have a Turtle Rock big key and a Turtle Rock small key. If she wanted to, she could go and grab that full magic that you get right before trying.
Is not giving up though, is going back for more.
Absolutely. These are 2 more chests that you know are in logic. KegInTheCloset discovering Ganon's Tower. Gonna do those 3 chests. And yeah, low heart, weaponless Turtle Rock is absolutely something that comes up in cross keys all too often.
Ooh, just gets stuck on the ledge there.
But credit to her, she's going to keep trucking at it. I think she might feel a little bit more comfortable with walking laser skips as opposed to booted laser skips. The boots does make it easier, but if you only know one of the timings, then you might as well stick with what you're more familiar with.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Oh no, the hard hat beetle's coming for it.
So what a lot of runners would do in this situation is run all the way up to the north of the room and reset their spawn point at the top so that the hard hat beetle resets his position and doesn't follow you up the bridge. Alright, but we are getting a new check by KegInTheCloset. Gonna see what our gentleman under the bridge has.
And Hobo has 10 bomb.
Oh, after that early search for bombs, wouldn't it have been nice to just take those flippers and go right there?
Yeah, we did have flippers really early, so it was a very good possibility of it.
I think Amarith was hoping. Go ahead.
Yeah, with these flippers checks, Keg will be able to get Zora that Amarith had to skip because she didn't have enough money for it at the time.
And Keg will also get their Titan's mitts, which I'm sure they'll be very pleased with. Alright, nice use of the iframes by Amarith to go and get that hard hat beetle out of her way.
And Keg was gonna try, and then decided not to, realizing that with that cave you can't come back if you go down.
Alright, Amarith, you're gonna get it this time.
All for a map of Thieves Town. That doesn't feel good.
The one that she already knows is a pendant. But it's nice that she's been able to go check all those locations, doesn't need to come back here.
And we have desert. That's a good find. Oh. Can get all the items here.
Well, we can get 2 of the items here. We don't have any of the keys. And Zora was nothing of importance. The only thing that those flippers have led to are those Titans. Oh, they do have the Desert Palace big key. I forgot. Well, they can get 3 of the items, and that's a vanilla small key.
So, well, they can get everything here then.
And also importantly, Desert gives us 2 more connectors. Ideally, we'd like to see the top of East Death Mountain, we'd like to see the Mire area, and maybe another Dark World connector. Oh, Moldorm, please. Why do you do this?
And gets through it, though.
Nicely done.
For a small key to Hyrule Castle.
Something that we absolutely do not need.
And it looks like Desert won't be anything. Oh, that's a nice connector location for Keg, though.
Right. That is the bottom of Death Mountain. There'll be another 4 connectors he can... or caves he can check here.
And that's not such a nice connector for Amarith. Can't
No.
do anything from there.
That is hammerlocked, but it is very good information.
And Keg finds the front of Turtle Rock.
Really have found a lot of Turtle Rock connectors here. But nothing really to do in there except for that big key.
Yeah, it's been pretty sparse on the items, the seed.
We would love any kind of weapon at this point.
Well, that's almost vanilla for desert. Just on the other side.
And Amarith is, yes, please, give me that heart container. Oh, but finding Super Bunny from KegInTheCloset, this will be a nice 2 items.
And Waterfall Fairy on Amarith's side has nothing. And neither does Super Bunny.
Okay, looks like Amarith is going to go and check the entrances in Eastern. No, she's going to go and finish off her flippers check. She still needs to go check Hobo and see what is in the Wishing Well.
And we have Hype Cave, where Paradox normally is.
Hello, Hype.
Hammer.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Flute.
Oh, boy.
Piece of heart. And a map. I give that 10 out of 10.
Oh, heck yes. Flute and hammer. This is fantastic. With those Titans mitts, that means that we actually have regular access to the Mire area.
Just don't have that Moon Pearl yet.
No Moon Pearl, but you know what? Those entrances in the Mire, there's 3 entrances in the Mire area. One of those could be a connector to the top of Light Death Mountain, and that could be where our Moon Pearl is. Do you have any thoughts about where our Moon Pearl could be?
I'm thinking Checkerboard Cave.
Okay. We are still lacking a mirror for that, but you know what? The mirror could be... So where's the mirror?
I'm going to say mirrors in Hera. Wherever
Hera?
we find that. Yeah.
Okay. You don't have any predictions for Hera?
Hera is going to be Eastern Palace. Where Eastern Palace actually is.
Okay.
You know what I mean.
Now, we don't have any keys for Hera, so that's only 2 items there.
Yeah, but they're 2 quick items with how Hera's set up.
Fair. I personally think the play is to go back to Hyrule Castle. We have that Hyrule Castle small key, which means that all 3 items in the front, as well as Dark Cross, are in line.
Yeah, that's true. We haven't seen that since we first went into it. And Amarith checking Saha's closet, or the location, is just a witch.
Oh, you know what else we have with that hammer?
What?
We finally get a mail upgrade.
Oh yeah, the drop down. That's a nice pickup.
The other nice thing is Keg doesn't have that Castle Tower small key, but as soon as Amarith gets her hammer from Hype Cave, she'll be able to get both items in Castle Tower.
And Eastern's location is not anything important. Well, there goes my prediction.
All right. There we go. Keg is going to activate his flute and get some really fantastic movement around the world. And nothing at flute spot 5.
And Keg gonna pick up his cape here.
Alright. If Keg goes through that bumper cave access, he will also be able to buddy walk over the Dark World if he chooses. I believe we've seen all the NPCs that we can talk to, but there's a couple of round items that we might be able to pick up in the Dark World. We saw Bumper Ledge, but there's also the one on the pyramid. So our Moon Pearl could be on the pyramid, and egg not required. We just need to find a access to that East Dark World.
And Amarith's heading back to Zora. It's a little unfortunate, but good to get it out of the way, just so it's peace of mind.
Alright, we'll see if Keg goes and decides to follow the same bunny path that Amarith did, or if we'll get some more information. Is a little better protected.
Also has quite a few more hearts. I think Amarith came here when she only had like 3 or 4. Or 5.
So we found the back of desert, but we're not going to be able to complete it without... Well, we can actually complete it now with that weapon. So that is something that Keg can do.
Hammer landmolls is never fun though. That hitbox doesn't always work out very well.
Hey.
And we have Graveyard Ledge.
And Amarith gets that small key to Hyrule Castle. Maybe that'll make her think about going back to go check the rest of it. Oh, doesn't quite make it though.
That's unfortunate. That's the way to go get your hammer and flute.
Yeah. That takes us down to the bottom of Lake Death Mountain. Alright. Keg is gonna go and try to dance around all of the moblins and the Hinox around here to go and check the curiosity shop. And Amarith looks a little bit lost, isn't quite sure what she wants to do here.
And it's gonna head into the back of desert. Maybe to steal a key?
Well, she's already got the items from the front. Maybe she thinks Landmo is in logic with just bombs, but it is not. You certainly can kill Landmo with just bombs. Yeah.
She doesn't have a lamp to open it up.
KegInTheCloset making some good progress through these Dark World checks.
And we have Ice Rod Cave.
Won't be able to get the item. Can't open chests as a bunny.
I think Amarith just realized can't finish it.
Yeah. That is unfortunate.
And we have Ice Palace. But without a... We could do a bunny revival, but wouldn't really be useful because can't kill that freeze.
No, we are lacking a sword to cast our Bombos medallion. Okay, Amarith is going to go back up to Death Mountain to get their other checks in. We'll find Thieves Town, and hopefully we'll get that lamp.
Alright, let's see what we have at Vanilla Archery Game. The other side of Spectacle Rock, which we've already picked up.
There's a question, Jack, about the logic to lock Moon Pearl behind Bunny. Yes, absolutely. Crossworld can make you logically walk around as a bunny and take an entrance to another part of the light world, or another part of the dark world to use a mirror, or to talk to an NPC or pick an item up off the ground. One thing the logic won't do, it won't make you do super bunny glitches, and it won't make you do a bunny revival.
And we have Pod.
All right, so it looks like all of our dungeons are here in the dark world.
Well, there goes our seed of not having to need that moon pearl.
Alright, this, I believe, is the second last entrance that Keg can check. The only thing left will be the Swamp Palace entrance. Just really huge props to him for making it all this way through the dark world without dying. Bunny walking is incredibly hazardous, as you see that Hinox take him down to 1.5 heart.
Yeah, especially with all these flying enemies. Fly everywhere.
Spear throwing moblins, bomb throwing Hinox.
And we have Sick Kid, but we don't have a bottle.
Now, Sick Kid is a one other NPC that we could talk to, so Sick Kid could have our Moon Pearl.
With our bottle sitting over in Hyrule Castle, of course.
Seems likely. I don't know what else we have that we can check right now. I'm just looking at my map. I think that's the only thing other than Lanmolas that KegInTheCloset will be able to do as soon as they get back there. But they are on their path to find Desert Main itself and get that Desert Small Key. Yeah, I think right now it's Hyrule Castle, it's Lanmolas, or maybe it is those other items in Thieves Town. That's a possibility.
Oh, that's true, because Keg did take a death in Thieves Town.
And we also have the 2 items in Aga Tower.
Bomb Aga Tower. That's always the best thing, right? Everyone loves that.
Oh, but we have the hammer now.
Oh, yes. I forgot about having that. We just didn't have it for so long.
Our first weapon being the hammer that was found on Hype Cave up on Death Mountain. Okay, KegInTheCloset. Discovered Desert first. This might be fortunate for them. The other entrance is Turtle Rock Laser Bridge. And I think Amarith is on her way to Hyrule Castle.
Alright, so we'll get some new information now.
Absolutely. So she'll go and clear out the front, then Death Warp, and probably check Dark Cross. Then we can check our 2 connectors if none of those 4 items lead to anything.
That's a very convenient full magic draw from the guard there.
Absolutely. Oh, nice bomb strats by Amarith. This might remind KegInTheCloset about Landmolus over in Kakariko, but he'll probably want to follow the other connectors.
This has been a very good bomb escape so far.
Yeah, Amarith is obviously very well practiced. Well done. Okay. So KegInTheCloset is going to go and just check these other two entrances first, maybe then follow connector. Oftentimes when you go and see the runners pausing as soon as they enter an entrance, they are just making notes about what is there and how much they can clear of it. And Amarith is damaging herself down to take the Death Warp since she killed the Green Guard.
And Zelda Cell has another useless small key.
Yeah, I mean, Ispell small keys aren't the most useless. They're not like Meyer small keys. At least Ice Palace small keys make routing a little bit easier.
That's true, that's true.
Amarith will have to do Dark Cross without the lamp, but she's going to go and check connectors first.
And that is Dark Death Mountain. I wonder if she's going to go back in or check the other one. She's going to check the other one.
Yeah, there's no real way to get trapped inside of an entrance, but there's a vanilla either
vanilla.
way.
Yes, from there you can get to the lava chest if you take a bunny revival.
Yep, which looks like what she's going to do. So there are actually two chests. So there is the big key chest, and there's also the chop chest. But without a weapon, the big key chest is really tricky. You can kill pokies with bombs, but oh, it's a point.
And can't even use bombos because of no sword.
Looks like
and is gonna opt to skip it for now. Makes sense.
I'm gonna go check chomps first.
Oh, chat bringing up a good point. Amarith's out of bombs. Can't even kill the pokey.
Oh no. Well, there is a bomb. If she looked under those pots there is bombs to pick up to refill. You want to ask me how I know what's under every single one of those pots in Turtle Rock?
Also, can't flip these switches because no bombs.
I'll tell you what, buddy. Walking through Turtle Rock and Cross Keys is a good way to learn what's under each and every one of those pots.
I don't doubt it.
Okay. One more entrance to check here in Hyrule Castle.
Hype Cave.
She is stuck there. But does clear off a good portion of her map there. Once we do get Moon Pearl, that could be a really nice connector.
Yeah, the only unfortunate part was that since she got stuck, can't check the back.
Yeah, luckily it's not a long walk to get back. All the way back to Waterfall Cave, where there's a connector to the bottom of East Death Mountain, which will lead her to Hype Cave for both the flute and the hammer that KegInTheCloset is making good progress on.
Amarith's gonna check race game. We haven't seen this yet, what the item is at least. It's a small key. That's maybe useful. We don't know.
Exactly.
And we won't know for a while.
Could be something really useful like the Swamp Small Key, or something completely useless like the Mire Small Key.
And it's going to buy some bombs here.
The only way to get to that is either find a connector that leads out of that door, or to mirror from the dig game. Alright, with this, Amarith is going to climb back up Death Mountain, make her way into Thieves Town, and hopefully get the lamp and maybe show us what's in the Maiden's Cell. Ooh, we also do have KegInTheCloset, rather, will also have access to the Thieves Town big chest, since he has the hammer now, and has a weapon to kill blind, but hammer blind is pretty awful.
Yeah, there's no real sticking to a script when you're doing hammer blind.
No, indeed. Well, apparently there is, but it takes a lot of skill and practice to be able to pull it off.
And Amarith's making the right call to continue here.
KegInTheCloset getting the unfortunate news that the eastern area was leading to absolutely nothing in this.
Ouch. Amarith is continuing back into Thieves Town even after that death, which is a good thing.
Absolutely. Will be rewarded with that lamp. Get that nice old man rescue when she continues up the mountain. Will be that fire source for desert, and may encourage her to go check Dark Cross. Okay, we'll be able to route these eastern checks a little bit better with that flute. Getting Hotel Mario %. And hello, Raiders from Randomania 2. Welcome to this Cross Keys race. We are about a 1 hour in. Right now our runners are checking things that the other has already checked. Still looking for some solid progression here, but I've got a couple of possibilities. Antism, you want to kind of run down what we know and what we're looking for?
Yeah, we're still looking for that moon pearl, and there's so many. There's actually, while there are a bunch of entrances, there's really not that many places that could be left because we've checked a lot of them. At this point, we're looking at maybe Mire area, because we haven't seen that at all yet.
Yeah, Mire area, let's see, what kind of connector could we see that would lead us to progression? Well, obviously we're looking, right now, you know, as long as our moon pearl is somewhere in the light world, we'd be looking for probably a connector up to the top of Light Death Mountain.
Yeah, really something that gets us over to, I think the Hera area is probably our best bet.
Yeah, Hera would be a check with that hammer. We'd have the top of Paradox Cave, top of Spiral Cave, as well as the entrance to the Bunny Cave. But we are finally going to go and get Amarith taking a death to the line. Unsurprisingly, she doesn't have a weapon. But Keg will be able to kill Lanmolus, and we'll get our first boss kill. We have no idea if this is a pendant or a crystal. We'll have to wait until the dungeon item. Alright, coming back here with a fire source and a weapon. You can't hammer dash without a sword. Sorry, buddy.
Yeah, it's a mistake I've definitely made a few times. So one Hammerland Mo's coming up. Hitbox is not being very nice to Keg.
Yeah, if you haven't practiced Hammerland Mo, it's a little bit weird, and the hammer is one of the worst weapons really to use with it.
Gets two of the worms down though.
Amarith gonna go check that old man save and quit location. And we'll check the back of it.
And gets the third one down.
Nicely
and we'll
done.
find out a small key to Tower Hera, and it's our second pendant. Knowledge, at least. Misery Mire and Tower Hera are other two 5/6 crystals. That's good information to have.
Absolutely. We do know where Mire is. We have no idea where Tower of Hera is. We also know that the bomb shop is up on the top of Dark Death Mountain, just by that old man save and quit point. So we will obviously need the Moon Pearl to take care of the big bomb, since you know it's in the dark world and you can't flute with it. Alright, looks like Keg didn't check these, so we will get Hyrule Castle from Keg as well, and hopefully we'll get to see what's in Dark Cross.
Yeah, and with Hammer, won't have to use up all their bombs doing bomb escape.
Exactly.
I think Amarith's trying to figure out what's left. And unfortunately for her, needs to go back to the Flippers locations.
Yeah, I mean, she still also does have Dark Cross, which is an option. Or she could follow one of those other dark connectors. And this is not swordless. Our runners have just not come across a sword yet. There's been a lot of entrances checked, but none of them have contained sharp swingy thing. Alright, Amarith is going to go check Dark Cross from this location. A sword would... I'm not sure if a sword would do anything for us just yet. It would obviously make blind easier to kill.
Oh, we also have 2 chests over in Aga Tower. I completely forgot about those.
Yep, those are still 2 things, and now that we've got better weapons than just bombs, maybe a
The hook
little more
shot.
appealing. Oh, okay. You know what? That is really good for Amarith because that gives her an alternate way over to East Death Mountain where her hammer and flute is.
Yeah, that is quite nice. Does have to go the long way to get there, though.
It also gives us access to the Turtle Rock Big Chest and the Crystal Roller Room. And it'll be really nice once we find the Hookshot Cave Connector, she'll be able to check all those items. But KegInTheCloset is going to be on their way to there quite soon. Is walking out of escape rather than death warping, with that blue mail making it a little more difficult.
And is going to check the back of escape before the entrances.
And we're finding their front of Turtle Rock. We'll also get the knowledge about the bottom of Spiral Cave, so she'll know that it's just an item back there and not an important connector. She's got an alternate access to it.
It can't feel good, though, to die back there when you could have had all the access to all these items.
Especially when she checks next door and it is a pretty high pipe cave.
True.
And KegInTheCloset is going to be disappointed. You can't actually backtrack through the sewers like that. The door locks, so you got a death warp.
The bomb on the hype cave thief.
Showing exactly what she thinks of him. Alright. She has a weapon now. Is going to take out some rage on Teknite. And Dead Rocks.
The Dead Rock's not quite cooperating, though. Nice game knowledge to know there's fairies back here.
Yeah, absolutely. This cave is normally, the entrance to it right there is where, if you mirror from the safety entrance of Turtle Rock, you come into that cave, so it's a nice place to refill in fairies. And with KegInTheCloset following this connector, he'll be able to go up to that Spike Cave entrance and see what that other dark connector is. Able to follow it as a bunny, that might take us to the Mire area or East Dark World. Sorry, yeah, East Dark World.
Yes, yep. And Amarith has also activated her flute, and will now be able to get around the world much faster.
But is going to go inside Aga Tower, so we'll see what these two items are. Maybe one of these is our Moon Pearl. Alright, KegInTheCloset showing us that this is the Death Mountain Descent Cave, but going in reverse, so it...
There's a fire rod. That's important.
Oh, that is really nice. Still doesn't do anything for us quite yet, but, you know, it will open up... Well, once we get the Moon Pearl, then that's an alternate way to go into Aga. Oh no, that's 2 seeds in a row I've called where the Moon Pearl is inside Aga Tower. Alright, Amarith, with that Moon Pearl, has taken a huge advantage. And she's got Titan, she's got Hookshot, she's got Hammer, she's got Flute. So she's got, like practically full access to the entire world other than mirror locations.
Yeah, that's very, very nice.
And unsurprisingly, she is going right into the Dark World. Not going to check the Skullwoods entrances, though.
And we haven't found any more maps yet, so we still have no more information on pendants and crystals.
And KegInTheCloset is going to go check the Mire area. Alright, Amarith has been in this area earlier, but there's obviously a couple of locations you can't check as a bunny.
And we have Mimic Cave over in the Mire area.
And there is Hookshot Cave. Ice Palace is theoretically completable, not in logic though without the big key.
And also not a very fun dungeon to do without a sword.
Yeah, Hammer Cold Stare is not pleasant, but there's Blind's hut in one of the other Mire huts.
And just a shovel out of Hookshot Cave.
Okay, that may or may not lead to anything. I'd say right now, what do you think the big things that we're looking for are? Or the biggest thing? Like, we're looking for a lot of things. Do you think it's items, knowledge, or keys?
I think swords would be really nice at this point, because then you can start clearing out some of the dungeons that you found.
Swords would be really nice. Although it is important to say that, yeah, both Thieves Town and Ice Palace are completable without a sword. We found Mire, can't complete it without Samaria. We haven't found Skullwoods, haven't found Swamp Palace. We have found Pod, but we only have one Pod small key and no bow. And Eastern we found, but we don't have the bow or the big key.
And we also don't have any bottles to do a pod unlock glitch, or potion unlock glitch.
It is possible to do that with frame buffers and clipping the mimics into the wall. But KegInTheCloset making a really good play with that hammer and hook shot. We have all of the left side of Ganon's tower open for us. No, we have not found Skullwoods yet.
In Dark Magician Room, we have...
So far just junk, one chest left.
Nothing major.
Okay, Amarith is going to go run up to Chicken Hut. She saw this earlier but was unable to check it since bunnies are not allowed the use of explosives. And this entrance right here.
And our first bottle.
Okay, well, I mean, we do know that the sick kid will not have our moon pearl, but there's no reason the sick kid can't have something else useful.
And Chicken Hut has just a compass.
Not very useful if you're experienced at running this mode, but you know what? The one nice thing that compasses do is if you've had to dip in and out of dungeons, it shows you how many of the items you've received out of it. So if we had that compass for Ganon's Tower, it would say how many of the 27 items we've obtained.
There's a map of Ice Palace.
Now that is useful. We do not have any information as to what Ice Palace is. We are still looking to confirm what our last pendant is.
And there's our first sword.
First sword in Rando Room. Alright, hopefully with a sword that would encourage KegInTheCloset to go back to Aga Tower.
So I was not watching, but Amarith has found Skull Woods. I was watching Keg, so...
Well, the thing is Skull Woods and entrance is a little bit different. Now, the first 2/3 of Skull Woods will just be randomized within itself. But the boss end, the business end of Skull Woods can be randomized anywhere on the map.
Oh, you're right.
And we are lucky that Skullwoods is a favorable layout. We do not need to take random connectors or risk getting soft locked to get to the back.
And we have the library with a piece of heart.
Amarith hoping for a refill. We'll go grab that.
And if Keg's up to it, he could try to beat Ice Armors with that sword now.
Yeah. Could also use the red boomerang.
Yeah, we'd be here all night.
Now, I'm not sure why Amarith is taking this drop down. She could just go back through and take the middle skull. Suppose this works just as well. One thing that KegInTheCloset might consider is turning on that cape.
Unfortunately, they don't have that Cane of Burna, which would make this fight much easier.
Alright, there's our second pod key. This key and this pinball chest in Skullwoods is still always a small key in Entrance Rando, just because Skullwoods has an unfortunate ability to soft block you. But Amarith is going to take the Wallmaster Express back to the front.
Yeah, much faster than a Death Warp. Keg has 4 of the Armos Knights down.
Yep. The hard thing with any non-bow Armos Knight is you kind of want to make sure that you're not damaging one so that you don't have to re-damage it when it gets this red phase. But with Furious Slashes, it's not too bad, I guess.
And we have a mushroom. A big key to Meyer. And a piece of heart.
Okay. Well, that means that now everything except for the boss of Meyer is obtainable.
Anyone up for some vanilla Canis Maria? We've already had a bunch of vanilla items earlier.
Exactly. Vanilla art items, vanilla armors. Not armors, vanilla entrances. Oh, hello, Meyer Shed. Alright, just a pair of blueberries. So where do you think these other 3 swords are?
Probably just in dungeons like Pod or in Ice Palace. How about you? Where do you think they are?
I'm thinking probably Swamp Palace, because that's one of the dungeons we haven't found yet. And we have the ability... Oh no, we don't have... We're still looking for that Swamp Smulky. Maybe this is it.
Nope.
One dig is nice, though.
And now Keg's probably thinking about where to go next.
can check this big chest and go up to Crystal Roller Room. Can also check that Chain Chomp chest and the Vanilla Big Key chest. Oh, but there's that small key to Swamp. So, where's Swamp? And is it our last pendant, or is it one of our needed crystals?
There's only just our second key to Pod.
Third key to Pod. Amarith has that small key that she found while she was doing the other checks around.
Dig game.
Okay, but speaking of Pod, we'll be able to do the Pod area and see what our item on the pyramid is. Amarith probably doesn't want to go into Pod itself because Kiki will override the frog as her follower. And with the flute, really, it's not too bad to get back to.
Yeah, just a quick flute to 5. And you're on your way.
Only 10 arrows, but Amarith's going to continue the Frog World Tour with a little fishing trip.
Alright, and in this lava chest is just a piece of heart.
Okay.
So
one more check left.
Rock isn't the answer.
Isn't there still Chomps, or did he already do Chomps?
He's going to Chomps now. Just jumped the gun a little bit there.
Mm-hmm. So alrighty. It's a little bit weird doing Turtle Rock back from this direction. Catfish, we got a skull bone to pick with ya.
And just a piece of heart.
Okay. Alrighty.
Those chain chomps really took a bite out of him there. It's gonna go and switch that cape to
are
pick up
nasty.
a compass.
Ugh, awful. Alright, getting the Smith turn in here. Today the Smiths are forging forged bombs. That was a bust.
Where's Keg going now?
He's gonna go check the laser eye entrance. Killing these two pokies is possible.
Oh yeah, we've already found out it's vanilla, but I don't think Keg has yet.
No, because he did not follow those Hyrule Castle connectors. Also gonna get a shovel check here from Amarith. Did the swag holeless shovel dash to get a tiny sheet? Yeah, bombos would probably be a better option in this room. And Amarith now with a sword and a cape, and Kata Burna will take care of the rest of these rounds. It's a green pendant, but that turn to Sahasrara is quite easy. Amarith will also be able to hookshot over to East Death Mountain and go into the Dark World to take care of Misery Mire. Well, at least go into Misery Mire.
Yeah.
Alright,
Amarith already saved the maiden, right?
Yes, she already saved the maiden, but she did not have the hammer at the time she came in here, so she's going to go check that Thieves Town big chest.
Of course, yep.
Taking a beating in the heck way. Alright, KegInTheCloset, are you going to go turn in that bottle? Let's see what Sick Kid has.
So Sick Kid today has a small key to Meyer.
Not the small keys we are looking for. Small key to pod would be nice. And really, that's the only other small keys that we're really looking for. Maybe another one for Turtle Rock would be nice.
That would be just more for routing purposes, though, really.
Yeah, because we found all of the entrances to Turtle Rock, so we really only need the one to get to Trinex. Because the only chests we haven't checked right now are the 3 front chests of Turtle Rock.
And you do need to have the Cane of Samaria for those, so.
Yep.
And Keg is going to go for some Ice Palace checks here, or Ice Palace location checks.
Yeah, I think we had already seen this from Amarith's side, and Amarith is trying to go swag and show us a hammer blind. He's on to phase 2 and needs to be a little bit careful. I'd be pulling out that Cane of Burner right about now. She is dancing with death here.
But
on
that
to
burner
phase
gets
3.
him down. For the Cane of Samaria.
Oh, wow.
That's important.
Okay, that's fantastic. Okay, so she'll be able to get the rest of the chests in Turtle Rock. Once she gets that Misery Mire big key, she'll be able to full clear Mire. Can also check the right side of Ganon's Tower. I believe that Misery Mire big key was on the left side of Ganon's Tower.
I do believe so, yes.
And our mushroom is only a piece of heart. Looks like KegInTheCloset is saves coming that in order to do fake powder. He does not have the Cane of Samaria yet. Has been in Thieves Town, has done a similar amount previous like Amarith did.
And Amarith's going into TR. We'll be able to check more if she wants to. Can continue down south towards those other chests.
Yeah, I think though that she may, like try to keep that small key and then just check up to Chomps this way, similar to what KegInTheCloset did, and then go in the front door of Turtle Rock. Okay, KegInTheCloset is going back to the Mimic Cave, or Spike Cave rather. This is another check that we have. We do also have Mimic Cave. Amarith hasn't been in that location yet, as it is in the Mire Shed and requires the Moon Pearl.
Alright, and in Spike Cave, just has barely enough. Oh! Doesn't have enough magic.
Ooh.
That hurts.
Yep.
Just a little toe left on that spike.
I think he's going for it again. Now, one thing that both Amarith and KegInTheCloset did is they checked that big key chest in Turtle Rock first, and then went through the pipes the long way. If you're intending to go backwards through Turtle Rock, I'll take that south pipe from the big key chest and end up in that middle island there. There's also a nice full magic refill there. Want to guess how I learned out that?
I actually did know about that one, but that's just because I'm bad and need a magic refill after going through that Poke room.
Alright, and yeah, Amarith is going to save and quit out of here.
This is good for Keg. Gets a small key to Castle Tower. That might lead him back over there.
That is really good for him. So hopefully remembers that just needs to go back to Kakariko. He's got that flute to 3, go in the bomb shop. Oh, and our green pendant gives us the Book of Medora. We already know that Desert Palace entrance is not worth anything. And she'll only be able to... And we don't have access to either of the tablets. We'll need the mirror for the Bombos tablet, and we need access to either the mirror or the top of Death Mountain for the Ether tablet.
Alright, and Keg's making the play to... Fluting to 3 at least.
Alright, I think, yep.
There we go.
Alright. So he will finally be getting his Moon Pearl as soon as he makes his way into the Dark Maze. I doubt he will be completing Aga Tower. We don't have any reason to. There's a blue mail on a vanilla lumberjack ledge. That's not required. And we have access to everything in East Dark World once he does get his Moon Pearl.
And Amarith is going to go ahead and take out Landmos. We'll probably have an easier fight with that Fire Rod, but we'll not be able to use Fire Rod for all of it.
One thing that KegInTheCloset might consider is using that nice Bombos medallion.
Alright, gets that Fire Rod.
Amarith's already used up all their magic. Only took out one of the Landmo. Has to go back to Hammer Strats for all these. Does not have that sword from Ganon's Tower.
And Keg gets their Moon Pearl.
Little bit of rage swipe there.
I thought maybe just continuing on, but no, I just wanted to get some frustration out, which makes sense.
Alright, now for KegInTheCloset, in terms of options for him in the Dark World, no, because he's got pretty much the same loadout that Amarith did going in, so he'll be able to check all the same locations. We'll probably follow in Amarith's footsteps. And looks like it is going to go and check the Skullwoods area first. Hour and a half in and still no crystals.
Yeah, but we do have 2 known pendants. Which never bodes well.
No. Alright, Amarith doing her first check of the mire area. There were a couple of items that we could obtain here that Keg was not able to do as a bunny, like here in Mimic Cave. And we'll also have Blind's Hut, so that's another 5 items.
And we'll unfortunately not be able to check. No. Yeah, can't check what the Misery Mire entrance is because it does not have that sword yet.
Nope. Unfortunately, does have Bombos, doesn't have this. Question in chat about who's winning. It's always hard to tell in Rando until all of the Go Mode items would be obtained, but I would say Amarith has a slight advantage with having that Cane of Samaria, and now also the mirror.
Yep, that's our access up to the Hera area.
Absolutely. Also gives us a map of Eastern, which is really nice. We're still wondering what that last pendant is. So now Amarith has full access to everywhere in the world. We're really just looking for items and keys. We know for sure that we'll big key to Hera, big key, and a couple other big keys.
Yeah, we may not need that Eastern big key if it's pendant, though.
Well, that's true. If chat could be so kind to let us know what Amarith found in Agina's cave. My stream cut out so quick just as she was checking.
Yep, so did mine. Oh, Ice Rod, says our tracker.
Nice!
That is amazing. We can go...
So Amarith, as her... For her first crystal boss, she could take care of Trinex with the hammer.
That does not sound like a fun fight.
Right, she's got unlimited possibilities right now. She's just trying to weigh her options for what she wants to do first. And it looks like she's going to go check the front of Turtle Rock. Oh no, wait, this was the back of Turtle Rock. My mistake. So she's gonna go take care of Trinex, taking a death warp to refill.
Yeah. Plus, this is a good time to think when you're beating bosses. So.
Absolutely. So. This is the only dungeon where she has all of the information for it and everything to beat it. Still haven't found Hera or its big key. So what would you be doing if you're Amarith?
Well, if you do find Hera, we do have the hookshot to Hera pod up now. So we may not need it as much.
So would you prioritize checking entrances and try to find Hera?
That's what I would probably do, yeah.
That makes sense. It is one of our other known crystals, and if you feel comfortable with Hera pot, why not? And we did have a vanilla big key in Thieves Town. Why not go for that too?
And with Turtle Rock and Hera complete, we also have access to whatever's behind the Pyramid Fairy.
Nope, Misery Mire is our other 5/6 crystal.
Oh, Misery Mire, you're right. Which we can also beat now.
We're still looking for... Oh, that's right. Well, once she goes into Ganon's Tower and gets the big key.
Well, I mean, with the hookshot, she can get over the gap.
Yeah, but she still needs the big key.
Oh, the big key, yeah.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mire isn't like Ice, Swamp, or Skullwoods where you don't necessarily need the big key. But maybe we'll be lucky, and here on Trinex, it is a map to pod. So that's another one that we don't know of, so hopefully we'll get a quick map check and see if Eastern or pod is our last pen. And yeah, she's gonna go check the last 3 chests of Turtle Rock here.
That's a nice warp to the front. Don't need to walk here, just beat the boss and end up here.
So now that she has the mirror, in terms of connectors, we did have that early connector to the Dark World bumper ledge. The Light World version of that is an entrance we can check with the mirror.
And there's our 3rd medallion. So even if we went up to that Turtle Rock entrance, even if we could get up to it, which we can now actually,
yeah,
we can actually find out what's behind it.
We have multiple ways to get up there. We can either take, the vanilla route with the mirror and go across the mountain, or we could save and quit to the old man, which I think Amarith may be planning to do. That's something that I think I would do, since we know the old man is right on top of Death Mountain. That's probably the quickest way to get around there.
Alright, and then on this right side of TR, we have 5 rupees and 300 rupees.
Potion funds for her non-existent bottles. Okay, Amarith is going to go and take the... Probably look like the intentional route up to Hera. We'll be able to read what's on the ether tablet. What if we had a vanilla Hera?
It's definitely not impossible.
Alright, so Keg is going to give us some new information. He's deciding to go into Ice Palace, but does not have enough magic.
And then on ether tablet, we have just a little piece of love.
Okay, that's reassuring for Amarith. Now, if KegInTheCloset knew that just north of the Dark World portal is a tree you can bonk into with magic.
Yep. That's a nice one to know.
And Hera was just the other end of Super Bunny Cave. We'd already gotten the business end of it, so no need to follow that.
And looks like she's going to go ahead and open up the Turtle Rock entrance.
Yep, I think that makes sense. We're still looking for Hera and possibly looking for Swamp, but okay, no, she changed her mind. She's going to go and check Paradox Cave first, probably.
Just a fairy room.
Okay, she's having a little bit of indecision about what she wants to do. It is really difficult to decide how to route that, but if she would remember that the old man save and quit is just right on top of the mountain, it really doesn't matter what order you do this in, because you have a really quick way to get back here regardless with the mirror and that save and quit point.
Yeah, since we didn't have the Moon Pearl for so long, neither of our runners really save and quit to the old man very often, knowing where the location was. As such, probably haven't. Oh, there's the back of Skull Woods. That's a nice location to find.
Alright, that's one more dungeon, but Amarith will only be able to get the one check. Without a sword, cannot beat the boss.
Can't cut those ropes.
And no luck with a sword in there. Alright, Amarith, if you save and quit to the mountain, that would be really fantastic. Think about that old man waiting for you on the cave. There you go.
C-shaped house is a piece of heart.
Okay, imagine she mirrors here and checks Paradox and Spiral Cave entrances.
So there's Cave 45. And it's gonna flute away. So decided not to open up Turtle Rock in the end and find out what's there.
Okay.
Is gonna go.
I don't think.
Go ahead.
I don't think we've gotten the Light World map check to see what Eastern was after we got that map.
Yeah, no, we haven't gotten any map checks in quite a while, actually, on either side.
Oh, but here's that entrance I was talking about with the mirror. But it's just a storyteller.
And Keg gets that small key to Swamp.
Alright, so we're still on the lookout for Hera and Swamp. And looking for a bunch of big keys. And also, what is our...
Hera could very well be here, but it's just chess game.
Yep. I thought you were about to say that Hera could be at Ganon's tower and it's our last pendant. But it's not, because it's our 5-6 crystal.
Yep.
Swamp could be at Ganon's tower and our last pendant. It could also be holding our second sword. Or all three of them.
Or Swamp could be behind Pyramid Fairy, and even if it's a crystal.
Lots of possibilities. Alright, I think Amarith is going to go into Ice Palace, going from this point. Possibly doing Purple Chest, though.
Looks like none of those options.
Okay.
K45?
Mirroring to get that small key from the race game.
Of course,
and also
yes.
checking this connector. We don't really need any useful connectors at this point. Did find another pod small key in the chess game. With 4 small keys, pod is nice and clearable. You can go all the way to the back.
And unfortunately, that key is useless. That was on race game. Just a Ganon's tower key.
Yep. So that's all 4 of them, though. Alright, this is K45. Then it's about equidistant either to go back to Ice Palace or over to Pod at the bomb shop.
Yeah, with those 4 pod keys, especially without a sword, I'd probably rather go over to pod. But Amarith's going over to ice.
Or possibly Purple Chest. At this point, either one of them is a possibility. With Mirror and Flute, it's not too bad of a check. Especially with the nice follower glitch that you have. But she's just gonna Mirror and Flute regular.
Yeah, the follower glitch is really only useful if you have checks down there. When you don't, it's just faster to flute over and walk there. And Keg trying to grab the purple chest, but doesn't realize hasn't saved the smith yet.
No, he's already done the smith. He got his bombs. He had the purple chest.
Oh, you're right. You got the chest. Yeah, sometimes with cross keys, I get my locations mixed up.
Fair enough. Amarith actually chose to go into the Dark World with this, likely to check Bombo's tablet immediately afterwards.
Amarith gets their first bottle.
Okay, likely check Bombo's tablet, then turn that into Sick Kid.
And Bombo's tablet is just pocket change.
Okay, so the book was a red herring, has not led to anything.
Keg is, I think, picking up some potions to go into Ice Palace.
That was really fortuitous. I wonder if Amarith remembers the potion shop there, maybe she'll go and grab some potions as well. But Keg will actually be able to show us what's here at Misery Mire. This could very well be our Tower of Hera entrance. And with that sword, he will be able to open it up. And Amarith is making their way into Pod. Or not.
In their swamp.
Okay. He does have the Swamp Small Key. There is no reason he can't full clear this right now.
Just have to hope that it's not a pendant. And Amarith making a good call to come into GT, and we'll get her sword, which is nice.
Get her sword, we'll get her Misery Mire Big Key, will enable her to full clear that. And the mushroom, which doesn't really lead to anything.
So in this situation, do you do left side swamp, or do you skip out on it and says if it's there, I'm done type?
Oh no, you go left side swamp. There is almost no reasoning key sanity that you skip left side swamp.
That's fair.
Especially if you have hookshot. If it was hookshotless, maybe, but no. And doubly so if you know the bomb setup for Diver Down.
Yeah, no, if it's hookshotless, you have to do left side. You can't go forward, so.
No, you... Oh, well, yeah. I misunderstood you for a second. I thought you said you can't do left side. I was like, wait, what? I was like, no. Never mind, I'm being silly. Alright, Amarith on her way to Randa Room. Gonna get that sword. With Pain and Burner, we'll have a much easier Ice Armos fight, and we'll actually be able to check right side. And so if you're Amarith, you climb the tower. Oh no, we don't have a bow. If you find a bow right side, you climb the tower.
It's 4 items. I don't. There's other locations to be had. Especially since that sword will unlock some, like the Turtle Rock entrance and the Misery Mire entrance.
Absolutely. Wouldn't that be something if our other hidden dungeon, Hera, is at Turtle Rock?
That it would.
Yeah, Keg finding out the bad news that the fighter sword is just a little bit too short to hit that switch, and the Stalfos is getting all up in his grill. Alright. So we're a little ways away before new checks because it's a long trip over to Left Side Swamp. KegInTheCloset, of Team Hot Dish, they're still looking for their first week of the win of the league. They had a really rough schedule to start things out, meeting 3 of the top 4 teams within their first 3 weeks. Swedish Rubbers also having a little bit of a tricky schedule to begin with. Have got one win on the season. Would love to see another. Keg in the Closet was part of the Go Mode Podcast Mentor Tournament and made it to brackets in that. And Amarith was part of this year's Challenge Cup and actually made it to round 3.
And we have the big key of Eastern Palace over here on left side swamp.
Vanilla Bow, anyone?
Oh, that would not be very nice. But then this seed so far has not been very nice.
Oh no! Amarith was trying to go and take out the green goo to switch to Burna strats and just switched a little bit too late, and that Armos took her out. So she's going to go and do the right side checks.
At least we'll be able to do a complete right side if she wishes to, and get back to Armos without losing too much time.
Yes, indeedy. May be skipping Tile Room, though, but no, it doesn't look like it. Had just enough magic to activate the cape and use the the cape glitch where if you're holding onto the wall, it does not drain magic.
Yeah, it's a pretty neat trick.
And she'll be able to get a full magic refill in the next room and some small magic pots in the room after that.
And we have a big key of Tower of Hera in Swamp, so this is the Tower of the Swamp of Big Keys today.
Absolutely, and that is going to be 100% required.
And the Arrow of Destiny in Tile Room. Fitting. Very fitting.
Alright, we've got all the items that we need for this room. Sometimes you gotta do a weird bomb jump setup and do this room with, well, you don't have to. You can do a weird bomb jump setup with lamp, but never required. One thing Amarith might want to do is, keep an eye on her magic. She'll probably want to activate Cane or Cape in the falling hallway if she wants to make way back to Ice Armos.
And Keg in the Closet's going for the fast menu swap for the hammer, but I find actually this fight gets a little bit harder when you have the menu swap on. Because with the menuing, you pause and the puffs don't get away from you as much.
Yeah, and you know what? Honestly, with spins, it's probably just as fast than doing switching to hammer. It's different if this is a swordless fight and you have absolutely no option.
Yeah, true.
Alright, round 2 for Ice Armos. Amarith still has no magic for that Cane of Burna strat. We'll have to use a sword or the magical boomerang.
May have to use that green goo earlier this time.
Quite possibly.
And Argus goes down for Keg in the Closet for 20 rupees and a crystal.
Okay.
For their first crystal, just over 2 hours in.
Alright, so our roulette of what the last pendant is down to 4 dungeons.
And ice is a crystal, and so is Skull Woods.
Okay, so it is either Eastern or Pod that our last pendant is at.
And Amarith picks up that big key to Misery Mire.
And yeah, it looks like she's gonna... Oh, no, I thought she was gonna be going right there, but she does not know that it is a... Well, she should know that's a crystal, because she talked to the bomb vendor. But she's gonna set up fake powder, since she has a cane of Samaria.
Oh, that's a good option. And Keg picking up that mirror.
And it looks like we're also going to get a ped check along the way.
Amarith does have both of our known pendants, so this could be something. But it's just couch cash.
Alright. Despite the rudeness of the seed, neither Aga nor Ped is required. We know that Aghanim too is not required. So all that we are waiting to see is, for annoyances this seed, is do we have to climb Ganon's tower? Alright, Amarith gonna go and set up the fake powder glitch. You use the magic cane with no magic, and then use the mushroom. It spits out some powder to give us the magic bat item of a bow! Oh wow! Okay, so that puts Pod highly on the table. With 4 keys, if you route Pod correctly, you could actually full clear it. Still no big key. And we find out that Eastern is our last crystal, so we are looking for that Eastern big key.
So that confirms then Pod is the last pendant as well.
Pod is our last pendant. So we are looking for Tower of Hera. We're looking for some big keys. And that's about it. And we're also looking for the powder. Oh, the Eastern big key was in Left Side Swamp. Right, I forgot. All of the big keys were in Swamp.
Also looking for one more sword.
Yeah, and those 3 swords can be pretty much anywhere. I'm thinking probably Pod is a likely area for it. We'll see if Amarith decides to go into Pod now with 4 keys and a bow.
Yep.
She, I don't believe, knows that this is a pendant yet. Because she hasn't done a Dark World check yet.
And Keg gets their ice rod.
We'll need to go back to Green Pendant Thieves Town to get their cane of Samaria.
Finds one of the more useless maps in the first Chestapod.
Would have been useful if we hadn't already talked to the big bomb vendor. Now, with 4 keys in Pod, if you know the Hammer Yump, you can check all of the chests at the front and save a small key for the boss. But now that Amarith... Well, no, Amarith doesn't know that Pod is a pendant, so she may try to still save that small key and avoid going through the center door.
Yeah, you can save that extra key. And Keg is gonna go beat Trinex now.
Yep, all that he has left is Trinex and the 3 at the front, but he's gonna be in for a bit of a surprise when he realizes still doesn't have that cane. And
oh yeah,
you gotta be pretty good at hovering to get across this gap, but it is certainly doable.
it is a long gap, and realizes, as evidented by those sword slashes.
Oh, what are you doing? Is he gonna go for it? He's gonna give it. He's gonna give it the old college try. Come on, chat, cheer him on.
Yeah. But one trying out.
Find our second shield in pod.
Red rupee and bombs in the basement. And a big key to Ice Palace.
Okay.
That's another one of those less useful ones.
Less useful, but not useless. We... Actually, no, we have all our big keys now. But you know what? That chest could have a sword in it. And that one might be one of the least out of the way. Keg is going to go check that eastern big chest. Or was thinking about it, changed his mind.
Well, I just realized Amarith actually won't be able to complete pod because they don't have the pod big key.
Nope. No, won't be able to complete it, but can get a lot of the chests in here and is setting up to save that extra pod small to come back here eventually if they want to, without having to search for that other pod key by doing a hammer jump.
Of course, the pod key just could be sitting here.
There can't be any pod small keys in these chests.
Yeah.
The pod big key could be though. We
Also
still have
mirror shield.
There you go, 2 shields in pod. There are 2 more chests at the front that Amarith hasn't checked yet. The vanilla big key chest and the drop-down chest. And yeah, she is going to go the long way around to check those to save that key. KegInTheCloset is also in here, only has 3 small keys. We'll have to abandon either the Harmless Hellway or the vanilla big key location.
I think Keg will be a little more cavalier about his keys, knowing that it's not a crystal.
Potentially. Pod keys in cross keys are really quite rare jewels. Even though there's 6 of them, you never seem to get enough when you find pod. And that last one can be anywhere, and something you need may be on the boss.
That's true. We've already had one required item on a pendant boss today.
Absolutely, that Cane of Samaria on blind, which Amarith has, and KegInTheCloset does not. KegInTheCloset still did enter Thieves Town earlier, but still has 2 checks, has the vanilla chest as well as the item on blind. May encourage him to go back there.
Keg did not get the potion unlock glitch.
No. And Pod had really nothing but shields. So that was not the case. Unless there is a sword on Helmasaur, there's nothing that we need in there. But we are going to get some new entrance checks. We've got 4 entrances in the pod area that we have not seen yet.
Our tower hair could be very well just be sitting over here. There's the front of the tavern.
Okay, that's not useful. If Amarith does find Hera here, and knows Hera Pot, could full clear the dungeon and then potentially never have to come back, because that big key and the eastern big key are the only big key she's looking for. The problem, of course, is if there is a sword in that big chest.
Alright, so let's see what Pod has. Pod today is King's Tomb.
Are you a sword?
Nope. Just more money.
Alright, she's got the information now that ice is a crystal, and that pod is a pendant. Is not... Oh, it's gonna flute to check the last pod location. That makes sense.
Yeah, it's a bit quicker than getting back outside of the maze again.
You don't need to dodge those murder-dactyls.
But just a shop.
Would you like to upgrade your mirror shield to a fire shield? For 500
Honestly,
rupees?
that is an upgrade in this. No
That
lag.
is an upgrade. I wish that would actually work like that. You would find people going to the fire shield shop all the time.
That's true. So where do you think we'll find Hera today?
I'm feeling the vanilla TR location. I think, we still have Mimic Cave that we could check. We found that via a connector. And we have the top of Hyrule Castle. I think those are the only places that we have left.
Yeah. We've checked a lot of the locations.
Oh, and of course, yes, the 3 entrances over at the Dark Shopping Mall known as Dark Ice Rod Cave.
Nobody ever comes here in Rando, so I tend to forget about it. A shop. And then let's see what Dark Ice Rod Cave has.
I love when you time the bomb and the lift at the same time and you get the jingles playing.
We have one side of Dark Mountain Ascent, or Death Mountain Ascent.
Yep, that's not useful.
The brewery, which has a small key to Skull Woods.
Not
even less useful.
But Amarith can clear Skull Woods now, so that could be one of her swords.
Yeah, it could be sitting on the boss. Amarith is going to go and get that item in the Spike Cave. Which is just that small key castle tower. Which, since Aga is dead, will not. Amarith is gonna go ahead and check Origin Skullwood's boss. Hopefully he gets a sword here. Switching over to the lamp to go ahead and light these torches to save up on magic. Yeah, Fighter Sword Moth is never very fun. And Hammer Hitbox isn't always very nice either, so. And Amarith has fallen in. Get some nice fire rod shots in. Oh no! Keg gets accidentally clipped into the wall. Unfortunately, that is a soft lock. Oh, that's unfortunate. And Amarith takes down Moth for just 20 rupees, but is another crystal. So that's 2 crystals on Amarith's side. So where is that Tower Hera? It's really looting us today. Chat, have any guesses?
Okay, looks like Amarith is rechecking locations.
Yeah, they went ahead and finished off Skull Woods, just got 20 rupees for it though.
That is a shame. Okay, so are we gonna go inside Turtle Rock?
Looks like it.
This seems like the logical play to me. One thing that I hope both of our runners don't forget is that they both checked the pyramid. KegInTheCloset did it with the mirror and did not mirror to the top to check those entrances.
That's true, they haven't checked that yet.
Amarith did not have the mirror at that time, but so hopefully she remembers to go back there.
But Hera's in
here's Tower
Rock.
Hera. All right. So we are just in sword mode.
And half magic is a nice pickup.
That's very nice, especially if Amarith has to face a fighter sword cold stare.
And we'll also learn if Amarith knows how to Hera pot.
Looks like, yep, it is going to set up the spin speed strat, which I haven't tried it myself, but apparently is one of the easier ways to set it up rather than having to do menu buffer strats. Certainly looked easy when Amarith pulled it off. All right, are you a sword?
Of course not.
Maps after we get all the information. Alright, KegInTheCloset had followed the Old Man Rescue connector. I'm not sure if he didn't just recognize it and know that it had to be connected. He's marking something off on his map tracker.
Alright, and Amarith is going to fall into Troll Dorm.
Hammer strats really make the most sense here, even though the hitbox is a little bit wonky.
Yeah, there's no need to get him in rage mode.
I'm going to be racking up some nice fantasy points for anyone who has her on their team. All these fighter sword kills.
Are you a sword? Of course not.
Only a piece of heart. Gave her a refill though, and we're up to 18 hearts, and that is her 4th crystal.
Yeah, this seed started off very stingy, but has not stayed that way.
Sorry, 3rd crystal. I'm gonna go back in and check the basement. Don't blame her. We still do have quite a few items that we have not seen. We don't have the big keys to either Skullwoods or Swamp Palace. There could be swords in there. Obviously, there's the item on the Armos Knights. There's an item on Helmasaur. There's all of the items in Ice Palace. We have not seen any of them yet. That seems to be our best bet, but Meyer is also a pretty good bet.
Yeah. And at least for logic, that powder would be nice as well.
Oh, for sure. That powder is going to be absolutely required.
But we just have a small key to Turtle Rock.
Not useful at this time.
Nope.
Alright, KegInTheCloset will also find Hera here. We'll be able to clear it, and we'll see what's in that big chest.
And Amarith's gonna go ahead into Misery Mire.
This makes total sense at this point. Full clear it. You know, Fighter Sword, Vidi isn't fun, but maybe we'll find silvers in here? Or a couple of swords? Either way, really.
Now, what you can do with the cape and Fighter Sword is just turn on the cape and slash away. It'll take a little bit of time, but you won't take any damage.
That is true. Amarith's gonna go check the big chest first. Now, you had mentioned that, the powder is going to be required. It's not necessarily. That could have been our logical silvers.
That's true. It is progressive bows.
So, I mean, as long as the other bow isn't on Armos or Helmasaur or on top of Ganon's tower, it could be in any of those kind of orphaned checks that we talked about.
Well, there's that might be our bow.
That may indeed be our bow. So, but Amarith now has silvers for Vitreous, which is really great. So KegInTheCloset really does need to go back to Thieves Town and get that Cane of Samaria. So even if he doesn't find powder, he will find a bow in order to take care of Eastern Palace. But finding the Swamp Big Key is really good for Amarith, so that when she goes back there, she will not be leaving that big chest behind.
Yeah, it's an orphan location for Keg at this point.
Alright, Amarith's gonna go and check the lobby chests first, before going over to the Firelock side. Plenty of small keys to spare, don't need to worry about wasting any. At least with Amarith having read both of the tablets, we do know that swords are not locked behind swords this seed, which is always more than an annoyance.
And there's the powder, so both those are locked behind Misery Mire.
That's pretty amazing. And one of them was just a little bit delayed.
Yeah.
Alright, and KegInTheCloset will show us what is in this Hera big chest. Is this a sword?
It's another pod key.
Okay. So maybe a sword. Maybe Helmasaur has a sword. One more chest in the front of Mire here for Amarith, the long 18-second cutscene chest, while KegInTheCloset makes their way up to Moldorm to get their second crystal.
Ooh, that bumper nearly threw him down a hole there.
And that was an unfortunate hole. That would have taken him all the way down.
Just a piece of heart and cutscene chest.
Okay, on to Vidi for Amarith and Moldorm for KegInTheCloset. 2.5 hours into a cross-key seed and only fighter sword, you are asking every time you get an item, is this a sword? Alright, if you are cheering for Team Hot Dish to get their first win in the league and you'd like to see Keg in the Closet put those points on the board, you are sending your mind energy to send him to Thieves Town to take care of Blind.
And Amarith has a spooky setup, which is really nice. But looks like it didn't quite work out.
Might give it, isn't even gonna bother trying it again in this room. So Keg in the Closet will be able to dip into Meyer at least and get his bow and powder. He jumps down off the mountain here, but is going to check the top of Dark Death Mountain. Amarith had done this earlier. I don't know if Keg in the Closet remembered about the old man save and quit point, or if he did this the long way.
Alright, Amarith is gonna make real quick work of Viddy here with those silver arrows.
Sword?
And a sword.
Alright. We are in no mode.
That we are. And Keg maybe has forgotten about Thieves Town?
Maybe forgotten about Thieves Town. I mean, he could also go into Meyer. He saw that earlier. He was the first one who rescued the old man and jumped down off the mountain to see it. He's going to take this portal. We'll be able to go into Meyer. We'll get a bow, which will lead him back over to Eastern.
But we'll have to double dip, which is always unfortunate.
Yeah. And Amarith is going to go and take our big bomb. There's not much that we could find behind it. I can't remember 100% if there's any item caves we haven't seen yet.
Yeah, we're having a big bomb world tour today.
Amarith just needs to go to Swamp Palace over in Misery Mire to get her go mode. And there's Keg's first bow. And we'll see if Amarith mirrors on top of the pyramid to see those 3 entrances on the top of Castle Tower. We know they're not going to lead to anything important, but maybe they're an extra sword. Maybe they're that blue boomerang. There's always a point in Cross-Key Seeds when it's been going on a while, and you just feel like, oh, you know what, at this point I just want, 100% inventory.
Yeah. And we have Mini Moldorm Cave.
Okay, so I was wrong about major item caves not being found. I forgot we hadn't seen this. So there's a question in chat to recap the scene. I guess 2.5 hours in we can talk about that. So our Moon Pearl was in Aga Tower in the Dark Maze chest. There's that big Kia Skull Woods, but no third sword. We got up to Thieves Town on Death Mountain via a Kakriko connector. The attic of Thieves Town had the lamps, but we had no weapons early. Our first weapon was the hammer in High Cave that had to be obtained via going through the Waterfall of Wishing portal. So you could have got that Moon Pearl early if you decided to do bomb strats in Aga Tower. Yet another useless Meyer key. And Amarith was the first one that figured out the Moon Pearl puzzle, even though KegInTheCloset got that lamp and hammer first. So Amarith then went back into Thieves' Town with the hammer, checked the big chest, and killed Blind for that Cane of Samaria, which has allowed her to complete Turtle Rock and Misery Mire.
Yeah, that sums up the seed very nicely. It's been a very mean one, as I'd say.
Yep, so that's why we are waiting for KegInTheCloset to go back to Thieves' Town, and we are waiting for Amarith to make their way to the Misery Mire area to enter Swamp Palace, where she will find her Eastern Big Key and Go mode. But I believe at this point she is going to go and clear Ice Palace. This is something that we had access to as soon as we got a sword, because we already had a hammer and bombos.
And Keg tried coming here earlier, but just didn't have enough magic to use their fire rod.
Yeah, Keg was the first one who got our first sword, which was in Ganon's Tower Rando Room. We have seen all of the basement of Ganon's Tower. There's still 4 items at the top, and at this point there's no reason we're going to be climbing the tower. The back of Skull Woods was at the Fairy Descension Cave, which is the Fairy Cave if you mirror from the Turtle Rock safety exit. I don't know of a good shortcut to call it, but alright. KegInTheCloset remembered the old man save and quit point. Needs to go back to Thieves' Town, which is at the back of the old man house.
Amarith is not going for Icebreaker, and is going to go for the standard strats.
Yeah, Icebreaker, a relatively new glitch. It uses Cane of Samaria's weird interaction with doors to force Link into an auto-walking state, and you can clip right through a rail. But if you're looking to full clear Ice Palace, it doesn't save a whole lot of time. Ice Palace Palm Jump works just as well.
That's true.
Alright, Keg, flute to 1. Flute to 1.
Where are you going, Keg?
Alright, there's a good comment in chat. I just want to kind of address this. It's always assumed that runners know every glitch. And you know what? It really is unfair to assume that runners do know every glitch. It's easy to forget that sometimes glitches take a long time to learn to set up and do reliably. And sometimes for some of these glitches, if they only save a few seconds and you can't do it reliably, it might not be worth doing.
That's true. And we do have our third sword, so finally a little bit of comfort.
Alright,
Tempered. Palace.
Tempered is nice. Once you get tempered, you feel a lot more comfortable. Alright. Keg, if you just mirror and go into Thieves' Town, you will be in such a good spot. Alright, starting from Sanctuary, he may decide to go and dive into Ice Palace as well.
Yeah, it is one he can clear, so it would make sense. But it's going north.
Okay. Not sure. This would only lead to Hyrule Castle, which would give him the Mimic Cave entrance, which is one we have not seen yet.
There's the pod, Big Key.
Okay, no, he's going... Oh, I know what he's doing. He's going to get the powder, he'll get his silver.
Oh, yep.
Alright, our third Turtle Rock Small. It is kind of funny that Amarith's first crystal was at Turtle Rock, and we still don't actually have a logical clear of it, because logic would assume that you have all 4 keys.
Who needs logic anyways, right? Ooh, just misses the hook shot clip.
Nice thing about this room is you got 2 shots at it. Yes, we are indeed in no mode. All Amarith needs to do is go to Swamp Palace. Left side swamp holds her eastern big key. She's gonna get...
All Keg needs to do is go beat Thieves Town and get his Canis Maria.
That really is it for Keg, isn't it? Like, even though he's so behind on crystals, that's really all he needs to do. He's found all the other dungeons, he has all the other big keys.
Yeah, and he will complete Misery Mire and get that second sword, so...
Or he might, whenever he completes Misery Mire, he'll get that second sword. I imagine he might be thinking about Ice Palace now, but I am mistaken. Is going to go do some more mirror checks. Ice Palace will give it a Master Sword, which will be nice. And Amarith, with half magic, fire rod, and tempered, no problem taking out Cold Stare. Only a compass on that boss. Amarith has not yet found Swamp Palace. It is at the Mire entrance. She was in the entrance earlier, had Moon Pearl, but did not have a sword in order to open up the Ice Palace, or open up Mire.
Also, while we have a moment here, just wanted to say go ahead and follow our runners. They've been doing a really good job with this twisted logic of this seed. And also go ahead and follow my co-commentator, Mind of Me, and our tracker, Oro, who've been doing an amazing job.
Yes, big shout-outs to Oro for tracking this cross keys, keeping us straight on the items when we can't remember them, and thanks so much for joining me, Antism. I'm really enjoying commentating with you.
Likewise.
Alright, Amarith's gonna go and check the rest of Skullwoods, possibly that Skullwoods big chest. Trying to remember which drop down will take her there. And this will not be the Eastern Palace key you are looking for.
And Keg finally made it up to Catfish. Tried to go up here earlier, but got hit by one of the enemies and got clipped into the wall.
Alright, with a bow, I imagine Keg is going to go back into Podge now. He attempted the potion camera unlock earlier, didn't quite get it. Not sure if Amarith is trying to get back into the Dark World here.
Yeah, it looks like
he's already checked the pedestal.
Keg picking up some potions.
Okay, maybe this will be a nice palace play for Keg. This would be good. It'll get him his second sword.
Pet is very dead. It is just couch cash, the seed.
It is a deceased pedestal. It has ceased to be. Alright, yeah. Keg making his way. I'm gonna check Cave 45 real quick. wonder what Amarith is looking for. Maybe she has... She was in the mire area earlier. Might have cleared everything. Okay, going back to Mire. This is a good plan. Gonna go into Swamp. Does have to go to left side Swamp to get that Eastern Big Key, but then Amarith will be in go mode.
Yeah, and with how thorough she's been routing everything so far, she'll definitely go to the left side.
Absolutely. It's a shame that Eastern Big Key had to be buried so deep. Couldn't just be nice right here in the front.
Or even on the way.
Okay. Keg is rechecking locations, it looks like. DC Sensei, the door that Keg went into, that was Laser Bridge. Keg cannot finish out TR. He still needs a Cane of Samaria from Blind.
And since Keg took that death right after getting the lamp, doesn't even have Blind in the room yet, has to go pick her up all from the cell again.
Yeah, and I mean, in terms of items, he is still looking for that second sword, so he may decide that it's worth checking that Thieves' Town big chest as well, because he has that chest, he has the Maiden's chest, and he has the item off Blind itself.
That's true.
Oh, there's a question in chat about the other one. That was a storyteller cave. Those are caves in the Dark World. They kind of tell you random things in the vanilla game about the lore and such. I don't know which one that one was in particular. Okay, Keg will find Mini Moldorm Cave here. And Amarith is going straight to the left side, so we'll get her go mode shortly. This really has been quite a tight race, though, regardless of the crystal differential.
Yeah, it really has. I've been kind of looking for one item on both sides for quite a while.
And that one item has been a sword most of the time.
That's true.
Keg was that first one into Thieves' Town quite quickly, was very diligent about going into connectors early, found his way up Death Mountain. Amarith had gone up there early as well, but took a death to the cabbages. Keg did some expert dodging, made his way into Thieves' Town, got the lamp early, and there is go mode for Amarith at 2:47:27.
Sounds about right for cross keys.
So it just has to go take care of Argus, take care of Armos, and fight Ganon, who is at... Oh, I forgot to... Oh, he's at the Uncle today.
Yeah, at least we don't have to climb the tower today.
Egg at 2, not required. And Keg in the Closet looks a little bit lost. Hopefully just rechecking all of his notes and maps, but oh no, it looks like he is rechecking entrances, and this is an awful feeling. I've been in there many times when you go and you look at your map and it looks like you've checked everything, and you might have accidentally cleared something off because he had already entered Thieves Town. Okay. Mountain Cave is a starting point to get to Thieves Town, not the starting point. Yeah, he is checking places that he thinks he might have missed before, like spots he had to mirror to, or spots that are only accessible via connectors.
Yeah, sometimes when you get in that, like, what do I have to do? And you get a little tilted. You can't really think about it. And especially since Thieves Town is a pendant, and you're like, I don't want to waste your time going back there. Especially since, well, he doesn't know Pet is dead yet because he doesn't have the book, but yeah.
I think probably that vanilla Thieves Town Big Key was the worst thing that we could have found in the seed. Because otherwise, you know, in entrance, you go, you clear the front 4 of Thieves Town, and then you leave. And then you know that you're going to come back with the book. But in this seed, when we had to go in there, and then we got the big key, and we could go all the way to the back and rescue Blind, it then kind of like feels like, oh, okay, you know, I went to the back of Thieves Town, I don't need to come back here.
Yeah.
Okay, but Keg will at least be able to clear Skullwoods, get his crystal from this. It always feels nice to get some progression, and here's Amarith going right into Easter.
And this will be her last crystal.
Yes, indeed. No GT Big Key guessing game. We found the Big Key really early, I feel like.
We did.
And Eastern being so close to Ganon is nice and convenient. No need to wait for save and quit or that slow bird.
Yep, we can just run straight up there.
Alright, Kid gets their crystal number 3. Can still clear Misery Mire if they'd like. And clear Eastern Palace. They do know that there are items left in there. Amarith having no issues back here with the back of Eastern.
And with those silvers, we'll make quick work of Armos.
I would say of all random modes, Cross Keys is one of the ones that is least likely to have a nail biter finish just because of how much divergence there is in there. But I mean, when it does happen, it's incredibly special, and a lot of times you don't even realize it because the runners will have different crystals finishing up, and they'll be heading to that Ganon drop down at the same time.
Yeah, there's just so many different possibilities that open up with everything being everywhere else. You can't really have a linear seed that points here to here to here to here, because just so much opens up with every check.
Absolutely. And alright, Amarith, going to the Ganon drop down. We have all 7 crystals, we have silver arrows and the tempered sword, and Ganon says that we have to have whole grain products in our diet.
Alright, and this is a nice phase 1 and 2.
Yep. Setting up for the 1-in-1.
Yeah.
I think she's got it.
Very nice.
Oh, not quite the 1-in-1. There's one little bit left in phase 2.
And into phase 3.
Alright, please, Ganon Warps, be polite. No teleporting across this tiled floor. Good use of the blue goo in her inventory.
And that was actually really nice patterns.
Setting up for the double. Only got that, but also got Torch Glitch. Not really necessary with Silvers and Half Magic, but it feels good.
And one more silver arrow should do the trick, and GG Amarith.
GG Amarith. And crosses the bridge with an official SRL time of 2:54.23, getting another 3 point for Swedish Rubbers. And we are joined here in chat by Amarith for an interview. GG and well played. Congratulations.
GG. My brain is mush.
That happens in cross keys. How about those swords?
What swords? We got swords? What, did I get the first one at like 2.5 hours or something?
Pretty close. Maybe like 2.25. Or even weapons at all. I think your hammer was an hour in.
Yeah, I was going through all these things and I was just like, can I get like a weapon so I can like fight stuff? Like, I feel like I gotta go into Castle Tower, but like, I need, anything.
So, curiously enough, those 2 chests, if you have the lamp and the 1 small key, are in logic with just bombs.
Yeah, I figured as much. It's just I didn't remember exactly how many bombs it takes to kill the gold guard, so I was like, ugh. I didn't want to go in there just yet. Do you know how many it is? Is it like 2 or 3 or something like that, or 4? Probably 4.
I think it's 4. Yeah. But you gotta group them up
Gross.
together and then throw them, and then it's only 2 bombs for the fast guards in the next.
Yeah. So ideally 6 bombs if you do it right.
Still not a very fun Aga Tower.
No, indeed. But then once you found that Moon Pearl, because you'd already had Titan's Mitts and Mirror, and Titan's Mitts, Hammer, and Flute, the whole world was opened up right to you.
Yep, and that was the point of feeling bad, because it's like, okay, where do I go? There's like 7,000 places to go now.
Pretty much, but you made some pretty good decisions here. Finding that Kane on blind was really good, and we can announce now that KegInTheCloset decided to forfeit. Got a little bit lost. We'll have to bring them in here for an interview if they're willing. But yeah, finding Kane of Samaria on blind, especially having... we were mentioning before that finding that vanilla Thievestown Big Key was one of the worst things that happened in this seed.
Yeah.
Just because you're going in there, you don't have a weapon to kill blind with, you don't have the hammer for that big chest, and then you find the lamp in the attic.
Yeah, I think around the time that I got the hammer, there weren't really many locations left, because I think I killed blind before I got the Moon Pearl in Castle Tower, right? I think so. I don't know. I forget.
Yes.
That was like 9 years ago.
Yeah. You got the hammer a little bit later. KegInTheCloset got it quite a bit earlier, just because they went through the waterfall a little bit earlier than you did, because you took that death into that mini.
Yeah, well, I guess not so much going through the waterfall, but surviving Spiral Cave without a weapon.
Yeah,
Yes.
like 3 times, and that really felt bad. Like every time, I was just like, I just want to get through the cave. And then when I did finally get the item in the cave, like, okay, what's on the other side? And I died after I jumped down. I was like, really? I don't even get to see what's on the other end.
Yeah, but luckily you did find that hook shot, which gave you another access over to the Hype Cave to get that flute and hammer, which was really nice.
Yeah, just don't ask me where that hookshot was, because I'm trying to remember where it was.
I believe it was Back of Escape. No, Dark Cross.
Yeah, Dark
Oh,
Cross.
right.
Yeah, which you had to go back for because you got stuck in the Dark World the first time around, so that was another really kind of trolly location.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you a little bit about your strategy for cross keys. You were pretty cavalier about following connectors. Is that just something where you feel it's a very much a YOLO and gathering information and you don't care if you get stuck? Or is it a constant strategy?
It kind of depends. The strategy that I kind of developed was just like, go through all the areas first, find where the connectors are, and just sort of like go through the world and open every door at least once, as much as I can, unless I get to a dead end and I found a connector nearby, and then I'll just take that one. But once I've gone through most of the doors, just start taking connectors and just like kind of whatever's convenient, whatever items are nearby, if that kind of makes sense. It's not, I don't think, the greatest strategy, but it at least worked today, so.
And we are also joined by KegInTheCloset. GG's. Rough break, but you know what? You played well. And it was a rude Cane of Samaria blocking your way.
Thank you, GG's. Yeah, I figured pretty far into the seed that it was probably blind. There was multiple times where I wanted to go, or where I thought to go to blind, and then decided to, no, I'll just check all the entrances, because it might be, just a random entrance.
Gotcha. So at the end there, were you just like trying to bank on not going back to blind, or were you trying to think if there was something else you had missed?
So the very last part of the part where I was in Kakariko, I was trying to figure out where the desert main was, because I remember that led to the safety door, where I could have mirrored into to get to there, and that's where I thought I had pegged it, one of the last entrances, but I probably missed a couple too.
Gotcha. Yeah. Back of Desert was in Kakariko. Desert Main was over at the Good Bee Cave.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, 3 hours into a seed, it can get a little hazy on where stuff is at times.
Right. For sure.
I mean, GG's for both of you. Especially, I think I both need to call out both of you for your perseverance at Laser Bridge.
Yeah.
That was just a bit of frustration.
I couldn't tell you how many times.
It was a matter of, please, just let something be here.
Yeah. There was so many times where I wanted to go. I just wanted to finish off Trinex, but I kept forgetting that I needed Samaria. There was at least 3 times in that seed where I wanted to go to the back of TR.
Okay. I see you found the Tower of Hera big key. Where was that? If you remember.
Tower of Hera big key.
It was in the back of Swamp in the flooded chests.
Yes, it was the hookshot one, the one where you have to grab the hookshot. Yeah, which you go moded, I believe.
Yeah, I skipped the flooded chests.
Yeah, you would hit your go mode just as soon as you picked up that Eastern big key.
Yeah, because I was starting to worry about, it's like, oh gosh, is the Eastern Big Key in the Tower of Hera Big Chest? Like, is that really where we're going with this?
Yeah, that would have been crazy, since obviously you Hera potted.
One other quick thing of note was that fake powder was an amazing play, Amarith. It really saved you from having to do a fighter sword Vitreous.
Yeah, made things really kind of nice.
Did you laugh a little finding the bow and mire and then finding the actual powder right after? We certainly had a giggle about it.
Yeah. I was like, oh hey, well that was convenient at least.
All
At
right.
least Vitreous will be easy now.
Anything either of you want to say? We've got match 2 between your teams later this week. Who's going to be running those matches?
For us, we have Aura. I believe you guys have Ladybug Thief.
Yep, Lady Box Thief will be facing off. I don't remember when that match is.
And
Thursday.
it is tomorrow, according to Lady Box Thief. So keep an eye on the schedule for that. Anything else you guys want to add before we wrap up?
I just want to thank all the commentators, the trackers, the restreamers for making this happen. There's a lot of restreams happening for the league every single week, and it's all volunteer basis, so it's pretty awesome to see all this working together.
And all the mods and all the crew behind the scenes making sure that everything's going smoothly with the matches and all that. Everyone speed gaming, all that fun stuff, just making sure that everything happens. So thanks guys for, putting on the league for us in general too.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. With that, Antism, do you have anything else that you'd like to add?
I'd just like to add, follow our runners. They put on a great show with this twisted seed that they got put in front of them. And go ahead, follow our tracker, who did an amazing job keeping us on our toes and making sure we knew where items were. And also my co-com Mind of Me, who did an amazing job as well.
Thank you, Antism, and please throw Antism a follow as well. You know what? It's a free way. It's a free way to support the runners. Said there is a lot of cross keys action coming up on all of the Speed Gaming channels, Speed Gaming 2 through 6, as well as our partner on the ALTTPR League and the ALTTPR League 2 through 4. Give them a follow if you don't want to miss any action. 64 matches every week. We're in week 5. Cross World, Key Sanity. They're long seeds. They're hard. They're arduous. They make you want to pull your eyebrows out, but in the end, it's all fun. And with that, I am going to sign off for now. Thank you all so much for watching, and take care, y'all.